Hey, Q&A video time. All right. Probably wondering, Tom, what are you doing on your Thursday night in beautiful DeKalb, Illinois? Well, I'm hanging out. The roommates are gone, so decided to let my hair down a little bit. Watch some OC, good show, and have a little Tito's and tonic. Maybe I'll have a cigar later. I don't know yet. Let's get right to it. First question. How did it feel when you found out your mom banged Jim Wendler? Well, my mom didn't bang Jim Wendler, JP. Just because me and him wear cargo shorts and t-shirts and have a beard doesn't mean that's my dad. All right, let's get that straight. Will I ever squat to death? Maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Do you get extra points for going way past parallel? Because I think all you gotta do is break parallel. But I'm gonna keep breaking records. You just keep criticizing me. What numbers are you hoping for in November at Jesse Burdick's Reebok Record Breakers 2? Hope to take the 181 world record. Hopefully squat around 766. Bench, hopefully mid threes, mid to high threes. Me and Jaron Rutledge are working on that. And deadlift, low sixes, something around there. 1,700 plus total, around 181, something around there. Have I ever shit or pissed myself during a big lift? Nope, that has never happened to me. One time, though, I was squatting, I think it was like mid to high sevens, and I farted. And it actually propelled me up. Surprisingly, I thought it would make me looser, but somehow it propelled me up. So that happened, so that was cool. Do I stuff my singlet? Just with my rib, because it's massive. Well, actually, it's average for a Samoan. A giant Samoan. Here's some real questions. Opinion on PRing in a meet prep and trying to repeat that on the platform versus waiting to the meet day to actually hit it. It's a good question. I actually it seems like all my meet preps I could always squat up to about 800 pounds, and then I go to a meet and I completely crash and burn. Bench and deadlift, sorry. I've been consistent with training. Squat, I seem to tend to push a little harder in training, and then I end up getting fucked on meet day. Now my approach is, for this meet prep, I'm actually going to go kind of underball my numbers, that's a word, and train a little lighter coming up to meet and hope to actually not hit one PR during prep, and then on the meet day, hit all my PRs. I'm going to go for that this time. Hopefully it works. So that's the plan this time. Which lift is most affected by water weight cut? I'm going to say my squat. I've squatted like 800 pounds. Then 2 weeks later, I'll cut like 10, 15 pounds, and I'll be squatting. I think I maxed out one time at a meet at 716. So that's like 75 pounds off a squat. I think that's my biggest one that's been affected by it. Other than squatting, and then other way to break in knee wraps. I use Mark Bell's knee wraps, the red ones. The best way to break them in is actually not to use them first. You take them and wrap them like you're wrapping a knee around like a steel beam for like 2-3 days, then reverse them for 2-3 days, and then broken in perfect. I recommend only using knee wraps for 1 or 2 meets, and then buying new ones because they do lose your elasticity, and you won't get actually that pop out of them because they'll be kind of worn out. It just happens. That's the fabric. So I'd replace them. I usually every knee prep I usually get a new set of knee wraps. Does Tito's and tonic have an anabolic effect? Absolutely. I had about 6 of them Monday night, and then Tuesday I squatted 705 for a double, walked out. Gym bar. No biggie. Who's better, Eric Lillybridge or Derek Kendall? Well, Eric Lillybridge is the king, but Derek's probably one of my favorite lifters. Was an animal to work out in the gym. Fun guy to be around. Real intense dude. Do I do a set program, or do I go off of my body feels with a specific weight? No, I write all my programming out before a meet prep. It doesn't matter if hey, I feel really good one day, I'm going to keep pushing it. No, you keep it in the tank, and you hold on to the next training session. You want to save those big PRs for the meets, not just an awesome Instagram lift. Okay, save it for the fucking meet. Do I still have Wolverine sideburns on my back? I'm a very hairy dude, obviously. Hairy chest, hairy face, hairy hair, if that makes sense. Hairy back, but no. Luckily, my girl Amber took care of the hair, too much mosquitoes, took care of the hair on my back this weekend. It's trimmed up pretty nice. What cues do I use for squatting? Well, usually, since I'm walking out now, when I get underneath the bar, first thing is to make sure my belt's positioned right. I make sure my back's super tight. Pull the bar down as hard as I can. It's almost like you're doing a pull down, in a sense, pulling the bar down into your back. Flex back. When I walk out, I'll look up. I'll pick a spot. I'll look at it. I'll take a big breath into my belt while keeping my back tight. And the first thing I do is I'll squeeze my glutes, get the weight on my heels, and the first thing I do is sit back. If you don't sit back first and you watch yourself and your knees move forward first, that's the first thing to break, and you're doing it wrong. You need to make sure your hips break first, not your knees. At least that's how it works for me. Then I can sit back into my wraps perfect, and I'll get the rebound out of it. As a born hermaphrodite, how do you choose to identify as a male, especially since you have such mainly female features? Oh, thanks, Brandon Allen. I have a lot of male features. Obviously, I'm super jacked, super average. I look decent, great beard, and I'm super average, bro. So come at me, Brandon. Favorite cigar? I like good Macadunos, or honestly, if I'm at the store and I see an acid, I'll just get like an acid blondie to smoke. I'm not too much of a yuppie cigar kind of guy. Mostly whatever works for me. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Why is it you can sometimes go below parallel when you crank knee wraps on really tight, or can't go below parallel when you crank knee wraps on really tight? Well, so you gotta have a good knee wrapper, like I do. John Jersey, awesome. We wrap for the weight, so I'm not gonna wrap 500 the same way I'm gonna wrap 700. It's gonna be a little bit of a lighter wrap. And then 600 is a little bit more, 650 is a little bit more, 700 is about max wrap for John on my knee. You have to adjust your wraps light to heavy. You can't crank them on the same you would 700 pounds or 500 pounds and expect 315 to move the same way with wraps on. You got to ease your way into it, as I do every training session. I'll ease my way into my wraps. I don't just crank them on as hard as I can every time. Find out where your wrap ends the first time as a light wrap. Then maybe get one more wrap around the second one, one more wrap around the third set. Something like that. You can't go all out and expect to squat the same weight every single time, as far as from like 300 to say 600 is your max. You need to go in increments of how the wrap feels. So get with your wrapper, whoever it is, and have them go a little bit lighter, then medium, then heavy, if that makes sense. For chewing tobacco, Skull, Coke, Grizz, or other. I only chew Beech Nut and Red Man. None of that Skull pussy shit. What is your pre-squat warm-up routine? Usually I'll hit the recumbent bike for about 5 minutes, do a little rolling around, a little stretching, and then honestly I do a lot of free squats, or I'll take a piece of wood, like a stick, and do some squats with that in the gym to warm up. And next question is, how light do I start on a heavy day? How many sets or reps before I feel comfortable? How light do I start? I start with a 45-pound bar. Well, actually I start with free squats. But as far as getting into a bar, 45-pound bar, I might take 135 for like 2 sets of 5, 225 for a set of 3, 315 for a double, 405 for a single double. Then I put my wraps on at 5, and then it's singles, singles at 5, singles at 6, singles at mid 6, singles at 7, or whatever my top set is for 1 to 2 to 3. Honestly, and if 225 feels like shit, I'll take it again. And it's not really a big deal. I just want to make sure when I take the bar, I take it pretty much as seriously as I'm going to take my top set. You can't kind of just lollygag around, take a bar, take a plate, take 2 plates. You're going to be loose and you're going to fuck off, and then things are going to feel heavier. The tighter you can be when you're just with your lighter weights, the easier and the lighter the heavier weights are going to be. What's my post-workout routine? Right now, let's say after I squat, I'll do front squats, about 4 or 5 sets of 10 with 225. Really work on sitting back, really work on keep my core tight, and really work on squeezing the glutes and really activating my glutes and hamstrings. Then I'll do such as leg presses. I like to keep my reps high in the rep range of 15 to 20. Extensions. My hamstring's a little weak right now, I feel, so I do a lot of stiff-legged deadlifts, 135 or 225, 135 for lots of reps. Lying leg curls, stuff like that. I always like to keep my reps high on assistant exercises to really strengthen everything. Favorite squat assistants? I'd say front squats right now because I'm really, really liking those. I feel like I get a lot out of them. Who could drink more beers, me or Tom Finn? Answer is Tom Finn's wife. He could outdrink anybody on this fucking earth. And that's about it. That's about all I got on this Thursday night. Hope that answered all your questions as good as I can. Let me know if you like these kind of videos, or if you want my opinions on other topics in the world. You know, me just to bullshit for a while. A lot going on up here that I can share with you idiots. So this goes out to all my Meat Castle friends, my fans, my parents, my girl Amber, Jared Rutledge, John Jersix. Yeah, that's all I got. So enjoy your night, enjoy your weekend, and go fuck yourself, San Diego.